My name's Dean, and I'm your host. You're listening to The Non-Typical Project. All right, we are on episode 9 of The Non-Typical Project, and today I've been chomping at the bit to get this guy on. We've got Alex O'Brien. Alex is a father, he's a realtor, he's a heck of a bow hunter, and on top of that all, one of the things that I always love about Alex is his ability to work with people, talk to people, and this guy knows how to land permission properties and kill turkeys. And the reason I bring those two up together is because I got to see firsthand his ability to snag permission properties during turkey season. So Alex, welcome on. He's actually got the great killer next to him, Stella, his daughter. And I've seen a lot of kids kill deer, but not quite like her. So that's another bonus guest we got today. Oh, is that one of hers actually back there on the
Yeah,
wall?
that's her rifle buck from last year.
Oh, that's a stud. That is a stud. Some of the deer Stella's taken down would put some grown men to shame. I'll say
Oh
that
man,
for sure.
I tell her all the time how lucky she is, man. She doesn't know how good she has it. Well, dude, thank you so much for having me on here, Dean.
Anytime. This isn't going to be the last time. I promise you that. So we were talking about the other day, turkey camp. So
Yeah.
last year is my first time going to the turkey camp Alex puts on. And what you want to talk about a freaking blast. It is a great time. And on top of that, like I said, that's a part of the reason I bring that up is the permission property side of things.
Right.
But saw Stella there at the turkey camp too. She was killing it. We shot off some dragon's breath. We had a good time. So bringing that out about like, when did you start doing those turkey camps? When did that start?
Dude, to be honest with you, I mean, I have always loved hunting for the purpose of like getting my family and friends together and even since I was a kid, I've just always loved the whole deer camp, turkey camp, just getting everybody together, patterning your guns, shooting your bows, hanging out. And I don't really think we kind of started doing it big the last 2 years, kind of when you kind of came down, Hunter comes down, Cheyenne comes down, everybody comes down. And it's just turned into kind of a tradition, but I would say the last 2 or 3 years, it's kind of blown up or whatever. But, we'll have 15, 20 people there in camp and we'll break the good bourbon out. We'll break the guitars out. Family, friends, neighbors, they come over and you're just like, all right, where's the birds at? Where's everybody seeing groups of turkeys at? Where's the longbeards? How's everybody doing? Shaking babies,
Well,
kissing hands, just catching up with everybody.
yeah. Well, dude, what's crazy is too, it's funny that you brought up breaking out the guitar because talk about a hidden talent. I had no idea you could play guitar and you can sing your ass off. I was thoroughly surprised. Like, oh boy, we're sitting back, we're in the shop, and I'm like,
I know, man.
I wonder what's about to happen here. Then you started belting out, and I was like, dude. Let's go. It was a full concert that night.
I'm pulling everything. I got to find a wife someday, man. So I got to break out every avenue possible.
Dude, you post a couple of those videos on TikTok. They'll be running. That'll be
Stella's like, no way. It's just me and you.
no. Dude, we were out there, and it's funny you say like everybody was come out and be like, where are the birds at? It was actually pretty crazy to me because I've always been a guy that like I'll go out and turkey hunt every year.
Yeah.
But I kind of fly by the seat of my pants. I'll go like run around in some public and I'll
Right.
just listen for birds gobbling and go run that direction.
Right.
You actually had it to a point where you were like, we had like freaking 10 people at some point, like, and you're like, I got a bird for you over here, a bird for you over here, and you just scatter everybody. And I want to say it was like a 95% success rate on everybody getting a bird. So like, how do you pull that off and make that sustainable? Is there like, are you scouting birds that much, but like before season starts?
I do. I'm like the Hunter Hogan of turkey hunting when it comes to finding big longbeards. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't give myself that much credit, but no, I do quite a bit of scouting. I do my fair share of it, and honestly, it's just it seems like year after year we always kind of find historically birds in the same area, and I don't, and I'm sure you recall, we're so run and gun, man. We're like,
Yeah.
we give it like the first 45 minutes of daylight, and then we're like, all right, let's go find birds. Like we know where birds are at. Let's go kill some birds. And so,
We're meeting up at Casey's, getting some yoo-hoos and some pizza, and,
yep.
like, I haven't been mule deer hunting yet, but from
Hmm.
everything I've watched, that's what, like, I imagine it as, because we were ripping down back roads,
Oh yeah.
looking for birds out, and then it's, make some phone calls
Yep.
or, like, running around the properties you've got permission on or whatever,
Yep.
and we're driving by them, and it's like, "Oh, we see a bird? Okay, we got a green pin on that property, we got permission." We're rolling out,
Yeah.
and we're chasing them down, and it's, like, one after another, like, I remember the first spot you set me up at, I blasted a coyote first thing in the morning. Birds
Yeah.
gobbling, coyote came out, dude, he got folded.
Yep.
But it wasn't but it might have been later that same day or early the
Yeah.
next day. Me and Cheyenne got out on that bird, and we literally spotted him, closed the distance, split
Yep.
up, and he happened to come my way. So it's, like,
Yep.
really fast paced just finding birds together,
Oh
which
yeah.
the social aspect of that is
Oh,
so much fun, dude. It's
it
freaking
is.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's some of the most fun, that I have. And I like to duck hunt a little bit. I'm definitely not a waterfowl hunter by any means, but as I'm wearing a a duck hat. But it's kind of the same camaraderie. You get everybody together, you're having a good time, you can kind of talk and chit chat and hang out. And I love that aspect of it. And then, being able to get her out there and friends and family and just go get after them. That's, man, it's so fun. It's so fun. It's not like a 200-inch whitetail that there's one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, we're
Yeah.
gonna get 10 people in turkey camp and we're gonna go kill 10 longbeards. We're gonna go find
Yeah.
them.
Well, what's crazy is, dude, there's so many, and I find it awesome too, because there are so many people that can put a camp together like that, and if, like, they kill 2 or 3 birds,
Right,
it was a win.
right.
But, I mean, the way things went last year, every freaking buddy got a bird. I
Yeah,
mean, there is nobody left dry at the end. I mean, that includes, like, the same way. I shot a coyote that first morning, kinda botched that turkey hunt.
right.
Dylan missed one. We got him back out on one, then he took one.
Yep,
Cheyenne didn't get one that first time around. She came back and got one.
yep.
Like, it's not just getting on 10 birds for 10 people, it's like getting on 15 for 10 people and making it
Right.
freaking work.
Dude, it's
Dude,
a
it's
grind,
awesome.
man. It's a grind,
Yeah. Yeah,
but it's
well, so
fun.
the other cool thing was, like, a part of that rolling around and being able to find birds, that was, like, just having that much property, and I don't think I know anybody that has as much permission land as you do. Like, how if you had to put a number on it, how many freaking thousands of acres in permission properties do you have?
Well, so that's a loaded question. So if we're talking to go deer hunt, turkey hunt, or shoot coyotes with my thermal, it depends. It
Yeah.
depends. Um, Deer hunting permission, which lucky for me, man, if I worked my job this hard as I work permission spots to hunt, dude, I'd be a billionaire. I'd be rolling in money, but I just don't want to work that hard. So but I will to find some hunting land. Deer hunting, I would say just in Southwest Missouri, not counting Nebraska muleys, or North and South Carolina. I would say anywhere between uh, 8 and 10,000 acres, roughly.
Good God, dude.
Yeah, I
I've
mean,
got like I've got like 400 acres of permission. Like,
right, right.
it's insane. Okay, now let's go birds. Birds, what are we at?
Substantially more, just because. Well, I mean, you can pretty much draw a line from Joplin, Missouri, north about 80 miles, head east to let's say Bolivar, and back down to Springfield. And in that box right there, I mean, it probably is somewhere around 12 to 15,000 acres of stuff to turkey hunt.
Brother. Okay, how about
But I mean, like
coyotes?
one of the farms which we didn't even go to last year. I mean, it's almost 2,000 acres by itself.
That's so freaking bananas, dude.
It's
In
no,
coyotes, what are you at on coyote? That's
oh,
gotta be like
unbelievable,
crazy.
man. I mean, even this year, I spent probably 2 or 3 solid full 8-hour working days calling people and just, I mean, name dropping the neighbor that I've already got permission on to get permission on that neighbor to get permission on that neighbor. And, I get told no a fair amount, but I mean, coyotes people don't really care about and more or less want them gone. And I I would say, I mean, I'd be lying if it was under 18 to 20,000 acres of
Dude,
coyote
you're
land.
talking about combined between all those species, like over 40,000 acres of permission properties.
It is. It's got to be
It's
up there.
crazy.
I
It's
mean, just off the
crazy.
top of my head, just coyote hunting farms. I've got one that's just a hair over 7,000 acres, and then a couple's, a couple different ones that are 3 and 4,000. So I mean, it's got, and then I'll show you. Look at this. I'll turn my, which I mean, this is, hopefully somebody won't screenshot it. I mean, I don't really kill that many big deer anyway, so feel free to screenshot my Onyx. But like, if I start zooming in, like, so this is my Missouri. When I start
Yeah,
zooming into Springfield, I mean, this is all little farms around Springfield. And then
dude.
this is one particular farm, south of Springfield. I mean,
For
that
those of you
alone
guys
right there
just
is,
listening, for
it's
those of
a,
you guys just listening, there is a massive red and pink and green and blue blob on his Onyx, just full of farms.
yeah, I mean, these are,
Full of farms.
dude, I could go on and on and on. But I mean, to be honest, it did take some time. I will say, I got into coyote hunting, 2 or 3 years ago, when I first heard about thermal coyote hunting, and I was like, man, this is cool. I got to do it. And it didn't start out that way, but using your sphere of influence and honestly just treating people right, man. I mean, shutting gates when when you go through them, turn around and shut the gate, pick up
Yeah.
trash, help the farmer feed hay if he's out of town. I mean, just small, even if you don't do anything, just asking to do something like, dude, if you ever need help, my cell phone is on me, call me. Don't
Yeah,
hesitate.
put it on the table.
And
Yeah.
I will always leave your farm nicer than I found it.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and
that's
I've
huge.
never had an issue.
That's huge. Yeah, I mean, when you're able to like work with property owners or like one of the permission properties that I have and have had for a long time, it's
Hmm.
always been like if he needs help with something or it could be the
Right.
most mundane thing. Like
Right.
or if I see him cuz actually I live pretty close to it. So if I drive by there and I see him like unloading something off a trailer, I'll go pull the truck over and just step out to go help him out. Like little stuff like that goes a long
Right.
way.
Dude, I'll
Now,
tell you, life hack 101, bring a 9-year-old girl with you to their front doorstep and say, hey, we would love to bow hunt your property. And they say, dude, it's yours. They pretty much deed it to you at that point. They're like, in my will, this land is left to Stella.
yeah. Dude, Stella's gonna be bawling harder than any of us, dude.
Do you remember,
She's gonna.
the turkey farm that was over by the airport that you went and knocked on his door? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had drove by. I mean, it had been day after day after day, and it's like Longbeard, Longbeard, Longbeard. And I said, dude, if you want to go kill it, go ask him. I'll drive you up there and you go ask him. And sure as crap, we did. And he was a super sweet old man, and he's got like a little 300-ish acre place over by the Springfield airport. And
Yeah.
she gets out and she goes, Mr. So and so, she goes, I would love to, try to kill a turkey at your place. And he said, sweetheart, you go turkey hunt anytime you want back there. That's yours. You go
Oh,
kill.
that's so awesome, dude. That is so awesome.
And we ended up killing a couple birds off of it.
I was gonna say that ended up turning into a we, not just a her.
Yeah. 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 We're a package deal.
Oh yeah, dude. That's awesome. Because the other thing I was gonna bring up now is like when people hear how much permission property that you've been able to get over time,
Right.
there is going to be the question of how did you do that? Because
Hmm.
I know that like it took me a while to figure out how to present it. Where like I
Right.
might get like a 60-40 no to yes now.
Which
But
is
like for a
pretty
while there,
good.
yeah, well, for a while there, it was 99 no. And like after like 104 no's, I
Yeah.
might get a yes here and there because
Yeah.
someone misspoke. And I was like,
Right.
I got you, that's but but it's like it's one of those things where it's like there's almost a science to it. And
Right.
what is your like first off, there's certainly a number of people where you know them through the grapevines that
Sure.
helps out. But
Sure.
like if you're like cold knocking on somebody that you don't know them
Yeah.
from Adam and you're trying to hunt, X, Y, or Z amount of acres, because what I've run into, usually somebody's hunting it or
Right.
somebody's got some kind of claim
Right.
to it. So how do you even go about that?
Man, I feel like this is like Nebraska relived over because I didn't know a soul in Nebraska. And I remember taking a spontaneous trip actually with Hunter Hogan. This has been and killed that muley right there. And this has been 5 years ago, I think, 4 or 5 years ago, and, didn't know a soul out there, was gonna go beat around public land, and, lucky for me, I am in the real estate world, and I do have some avenues to get people's information and phone numbers and email addresses and whatever. Yeah, I mean, I can find anything out relatively as deep as I wanna take it, and, a majority of the time, yeah, I just, I would say 95 to 90% of the time I call them. I'm not even on their front doorstep. I mean,
Really?
there's 5 to maybe 10% that we will actually go knock on their door, and that's if I can't get a hold of them on the phone.
Yeah. So
And
so you're Hi,
yeah,
this is Alex
absolutely,
O'Brien. Oh, now what are we saying to these folks
absolutely.
on the phone?
You know, it started out as almost poor me, like I don't have anything to hunt out here. And I'm thinking of Nebraska in particular, because I've actually got really lucky here at home because I do have a pretty large sphere of people that I just know or know somebody that knows. And so I can
Yeah.
name drop or just, uh, weasel my way in somehow to, being able to hunt. But especially places like Nebraska that I don't have a clue who anybody is. I started out by just bring, and they're like, yeah, hello, is this some scam? Because I've got a 417 number and I'm in 9 area codes over. And of course I've got their name. So I think when you can call somebody and address them by Mr. Whatever or Mrs. Whatever, and they're already like, okay, that's somewhat credible. You know who I am. And a lot of times I just go in and I'm like, hey, I just, no obligation, no pressure. I just wanted to let you know, I came out here for a week to do a little bit of bow hunting and no pressure. I don't want anything from you guys. But if I could even have the opportunity to go chase a deer with my bow and arrow on your place, I'm not going to drive, which is a big thing out west. It's dry out there. People don't want you driving in their stuff, and that builds credibility right there again because they're like, okay, he already knows I don't want people driving through my stuff. It starts fires. Everybody thinks that you're going to burn the state down, which whatever. I abide by. But, I reiterate, I'm not gonna drive on your stuff. I'll take the heel toe express. I'll walk everywhere. If I have my e-bikes, I'll take my e-bikes, but I just, you know, I will always call you before I ever show up and come out and hunt, but I'm here for a week. Could I spend a couple days chasing a deer with a stick and string on your property? And a lot of times they think you're crazy, especially out west. They're like, "You're gonna try to kill a deer with a bow and arrow? Like, in this hundreds of thousands of acres of sandhills, you're gonna go try to shoot a deer with a bow?"
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, have at it. Have at it.
Go for it.
Let me know if you get one.
Yeah. See, so that's funny. And one of the cool things you point out there when we go through that is like you're opening with addressing them by their name. You're
Right,
following up with like following all their rules before they even mention it.
right,
So that immediately disarms that of like, okay, he's not gonna do X, Y, or Z thing
right,
I'm worried about. And then it's I'm only looking to be here for a couple days if you're out of state
right.
or whatever. It's like,
Yep.
you know, in and out and basically you don't even know I was there sort
Right,
of deal.
yeah.
You make it a 0% headache kind of thing.
Yeah, and pretty much what I tell everybody that I get permission on is I always save their phone number. It's not abnormal for me to text them and say, "Hey, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, Happy New Year," blah blah, just to stay in touch. And again, if I worked this hard at my job, we would be on a private jet going to hunt anywhere you wanted. But I just, man, I love to bow hunt, I love to turkey hunt, I love to fish, I love to shoot coyotes, I love to hang out with my daughter, and it is worth its weight in gold to be able to have, you know all of this stuff to be able to go do that. And so
Yeah.
I'll bust my ass to figure it out.
Yeah, dude,
And
that's
and
awesome.
and and I don't care if I get 40 no's. I'll get 5 yeses for 40 no's and I'll keep dialing people.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Cause so the other fun thing that I wanna bring up too is your job that affords you quite a bit of time. Like you're able to kinda structure your schedule out a little bit. Like, it has not been abnormal over the years for, me to be rolling around in the truck with Hunter or whatever. I remember one time in particular, I'm rolling around the truck with Hunter, and it's like a freaking Tuesday, dude. And you called us, you're like, "Hey, do you guys wanna go duck hunting like 6 states over?" Like, "You guys wanna come out here? Like, let's go do that." And I'm like, "Dude, I've gotta work," like, but you got this ability to kinda be flexible with your
Right,
schedule a little bit,
right.
so how have you been balancing that? Because you're totally on your own, right? Like, you're
Yeah,
independent as far as the
yeah,
job
it's
goes.
just me, myself, and I. So I just have a real estate team, which is me and my admin. She pretty much makes my life tick and go round because if I didn't have her, I am scatterbrained. My calendar is only put together because of her. So God bless her. But yes, I mean, it wasn't always that way. I mean, starting a new venture straight out of college, I mean, this is 10 years that I've been in the real estate world. And I'll never forget the first 2 years wondering how I was even going to make a house payment or be able to afford to buy groceries for a week. I mean, there were times that I could remember having a couple $100 to my name, and I was like, "Dude, how am I gonna make it work?"
Yeah.
But I'm just hard-headed enough that I'm like, "I'm going to figure this out." Every piece of me wanted to just go get a 9 to 5 and just make money and be okay, but I was like, "No, you're gonna figure this out. You've gotta figure it out." And so I grinded, 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 and I remember my first year in real estate, I made like 22 grand. And I was
Wow.
like, "Okay, I can live, I can breathe a little bit." And that was like the last 3 months of the year that I finally had a few transactions, and I was like, "Well,
Wow.
I could breathe a little bit. I'm good. I'm okay. Like I can feed us, for another few months." But just grinding and figuring it out and making the right connections and failing enough to learn what to do, what not to do, and yeah, now it's great. I kind of have my business on autopilot. I've got some great clients that feed me business year after year after year, a lot of repeat clients. I've now started to invest and buy and build, and I've got a few new constructions that I do every year, and have started to buy some rentals. Have started to flip some property, just diversifying a little bit. But all of this, you know, can kind of work around my calendar, and that's the most important thing to me because I don't miss volleyball games. I don't, I love being at volleyball games. I love being able to take off. I mean, just like this snowstorm that came, what, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago,
I remember
and,
seeing this,
and
yep.
we were sitting at home, and it was a Friday, and we were supposed to get like 14 inches of snow, and I looked at her and I said, "Dude, let's get out of here." And so we got on a plane that night at 5 o'clock, like 2 hours later, and flew to Sarasota, Florida. And I was like, "Dude, let's go enjoy the sun. We're not gonna sit at home and watch it snow for a week."
Dude, so see, and I always think it's so cool because I think Stella will agree with us here. Dad of the Year awards going out regularly, regularly to Mr. O'Brien here because I mean it's awesome because you do post that stuff all the time,
Right.
going on trips with Stella, going to the volleyball games, getting her in practice and all that stuff. Which
Yeah.
heck of a volleyball player, might I add, might I add. But you've got this like awesome kind of relationship there that like you had your back against the wall when you started
Right.
all this stuff, but that little bit of hurt got you to a pretty
Absolutely.
awesome place now. I mean, you're killing it, dude, and you're able to hunt and take her hunting and go do all the extras and extracurricular
Yeah.
activities. It's one of those things I definitely like I admire about you because I'm like, dude, that's the life. Like he's doing everything that like most of these guys would want to do, like be able to
Right.
go do that stuff. So I
Yeah,
always thought
and
that's really
and
cool.
and it does come with its own stresses, though, so don't think I'm just living on easy street, like, just sipping champagne every day. I mean, there's days that suck,
Oh
um,
yeah.
but you weather the suck for the really good days, and I'm just blessed that there's more good days than bad most of the time, you know?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's awesome. So you take those trips and you mentioned that mule deer hunt with Hunter, and I I,
Mhm.
I want to bring it up because
Oh, yeah.
I remember watching the video. For those people that haven't watched the video, Alex tells a story on that YouTube video of this mule deer hunt. That dude, if you could tell that story for the folks, I this
Oh.
is probably one of my favorite hunting stories. Alex has got like a boatload of stories that like
Oh,
you
man.
hear it, like somebody could tell me a story and just by the way it starts and the way it ends, I could tell them if it's an Alex story.
Yeah.
Like there's nobody that quite has stuff happen the way you do. So take it away
Dude, and
from that
it's
mule deer hunt, that story.
It's all real too, like, if you didn't know, you'd be like, "This dude is crazy, no way." But it's truth. Like, it's factual. It's unbelievable the stuff that I've ran into. Unbelievable. So, um, I don't even you may have never even heard this, but, uh, go get my chew out of the truck. So, anyway, I, as we're sitting there putting a stock on that muley there, I've got my muzzleloader and Hogan's with me, and, we've put a stock on this muley. We found him that morning, opening morning of muzzleloader in Nebraska, and we go on this stock. We're making our way through the sand hills. And I'm actually just soaking all this in because the prairie ninja Hogan, dude, he just thinks different. He moves different. Whatever. So I'm soaking this in. I'm learning as we go, and we get to like 200 yards, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna kill him, and he's like, no. And I'm like, dude, let me shoot him. And he's like, no, we're gonna get to 100 or less. And I was like, dude, I've got a muzzle loader. Like, let me shoot him. Thank you, honey. And he's like, no, man, we're gonna get inside. We're gonna get inside of 100. And I said, all right, dude, whatever. And so anyway, we had plenty of time to sit there because this stalk ended up lasting about 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours. Um and there was plenty of time to sit and think and talk and discuss. And I mean, you're sitting there in 40-mile-an-hour wind out there in Nebraska, so I mean, we could talk like this and a deer at 100 yards couldn't hear you. I mean, I'm serious when
No,
I say the
no.
wind is howling. And so yeah, and this is a true story. We got to sitting there talking, and we got to talking about some crazy hunts we've been on, and crazy things that's happened to us and whatever. And I told Hunter this story. I was like, man, I'll never forget. uh I got invited by a pretty close family friend of mine to hunt like an unbelievable lease in Kansas. Unbelievable. Like, this dude has killed multiple 200-inch deer, and unbelievable lease in Kansas. And I got
Oh,
invited to hunt it. He's like, man, I want you to come out there with me. And I'm like, dude, I'm in. I'm in. So I put in for the draw. I get drawn. We both get drawn. And he's like, all right, let's head to Kansas. So anyway, this is the first time I had ever been on an e-bike, first time I had ever seen ground that even looked like, I mean, just you could, when you stepped out, you knew there was a mega giant somewhere in the vicinity. I mean, just big
yeah.
deer country. Big row crop bottoms next to this giant ravine of timber, river bottom running down through. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Something you'd see on the Outdoor Channel. And it was either our first or second day there. It was our second day hunting, but our first night we kind of went, set stands, set cameras, did our thing, went out to eat. And he's like, man, I've got this killer Mexican restaurant. We've got to go.
Oh boy.
Anybody that knows me knows that I've got the worst guts in the history of guts. She knows. I mean, how many times have we had to cut my socks off in the woods?
A lot.
A lot, a lot. It happens. It happens. And I was like, dude, let's go. So we had a margarita. We had refried beans and quesadilla. I mean, just these big burritos, whatever. I mean, we ate like kings. All right. Next day we get up and we're going through all these trail camera pictures previously of what he had there, what we got the night before. And I mean, we're hunting big deer. Like, it is not typical to see 140 or 150 plus inch deer in a sit over there. And that was unbeknownst to me because I'd never hunted Kansas. Kansas is like a different animal.
Yeah.
So, of course, we get up the next morning after this giant feast the night before. And he's like, all right, hop on my quiet cat. I'm going to drop you in the bottom, ride this trail all the way to the back of this probably 3/4 of a mile to a mile long bean field. And I've got a hang on stand back there. I'll drop you a pin, throw the bike under the tree, get up in that stand. You got a perfect wind for it. You are going to see deer this morning. Go shoot a giant. And I said, okay, cool. And so him and another guy had kind of set up in the tree line, that's overlooking this big bean field bottom, and I'm at the very back. And I remember getting in there, dude. I'm jacked up. I'm pumped. I'm like, dude, I'm in Kansas. I'm hunting Kansas. Like, I've got a chance to kill a giant. And like, I'm on this lease that this dude just has put his blood, sweat, and tears in to kill mega giant deer. And I'm like, I'm here. This is my chance. And so I remember I shimmy up the tree. I get up there. It's a crisp morning. get all my bow hung up, I strap my safety harness in, and it's like 20 minutes before it gets light, 30 minutes before it gets light. And dude, my stomach turns. It's like it doesn't like hit me, but it's like, oh no, this isn't good. And I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
telling myself, I'm like, dude, you cannot, there's absolutely no way that you can take a dump right here. I mean, you just can't. I try to not even spit my tobacco where I'm gonna hunt with other people's sets because some people are weird about that stuff. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like trying to be the most responsible hunter that I can there, so I don't get asked to not come back. Anyway, so I'm like, tough it out, you'll be fine. Well, daylight just starts to break. I mean, it is like the sun is barely peeking up. Deer start filtering into these beans. I mean, there was already deer in the
Prime
bean.
time.
Dude, prime time. Like you can barely see. I mean, I could maybe shoot one if I had to, but I mean, we're right at shooting light, barely coming up. And all these deer, I mean, I've got 20, 30 deer in this bean field, more deer pouring in, bucks, whatever. And dude, it immediately hits me like there's absolutely no waiting anymore. No more. I have to get down immediately. It's either get down and try to go somewhere on the ground or shit my pants in the tree. There's no in between. So dude, I go to get out of the tree and I swing around the tree and I start going down the steps. Well, I never unhooked my safety harness. Dude, and it catches me and now I'm hanging like this off of the steps by my safety harness. I shit my pants, shit all over myself, climb back up, unhook my safety harness, climb down, and by this point, dude, I'm done. I'm done. I've shit everywhere. I have it down my legs. There's no, I mean, it's like a baby blowout, dude. It was up my back. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. Deer have cleared the field. I mean, it's now 30 minutes into daylight, 20 minutes into daylight, this huge debacle. So I get down and I get completely, I have nothing on but a pair of muck boots, dude. I try to wipe up the best I can. I have legitimately nothing on but a pair of muck boots. I bury my clothes in the leaves and brush and crap at the base of this tree. And I get on that e-bike and I ride that son of a bitch out of there through the bean field, past them hunting. I mean, they're hunting the bean field and I am blazing the trail. Dude, I've got this quiet cat pegged and I have nothing but a pair of muck boots on. And I get back to the truck. I get my bag.
They see you.
1,000%. 1,000%.
They saw you buck naked
1,000%.
on the quiet cat, 20 mile an hour.
Oh, I was caught red-handed. And I get to the truck and, hour and a half later, 2 hours later, they get down. We all get back to the truck and they're like, dude, what? Like, what the hell was that? And I said, dude, I am so sorry. I was like, I crapped my pants. Dude, I don't even have my camo. My camo's out there. Like, I'm so sorry. That was my first Kansas trip ever. Like, my first experience hunting the great state of Kansas. I ruined a brand new pair of Under Armour pants, top. I mean, dude, that was it. And I ended up killing a deer the next day. I did end up shooting a deer.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, how big?
He actually was that big. I'm pretty embarrassed to tell you, but I've actually got his skull downstairs. But unbeknownst to me, rattling in Missouri, especially Southwest Missouri, is not like rattling in Kansas, dude. Those deer are a different breed of deer in Kansas. I mean, I had like 135-inch deer come in that looked like a freaking 180 because he was like pissed off, hair standing up,
puffed up,
marching in. Dude, I thought it was like a 4.5 or 5.5-year-old deer. It was a 3.5-year-old deer. And I killed him.
Dude, good for you. You know what? After the expense between the tag, travel, and ruining a set of camo, that deer was well earned. I have the image of you just like I'm just imagining someone sitting in a stand watching you just full bore naked, just
Dude,
blasting
I
it through a
was.
field on a
I
quiet cat.
was.
Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. That's like, it's something you would have seen on like Cops or something. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Or like
So
WTF
are you back
Springfield,
there, like,
maybe.
at the truck? What are you doing when you get back to the truck? Did you have, like, a change of clothes?
Yeah,
Like,
so I had a bag in the truck. I had a bag, like a
okay.
suitcase, clothes and underwear and stuff like that. So I put regular clothes on. Luckily. Luckily, yeah. But I mean, dude, I was screwed. And there was nothing I could do about it. Nothing I could do about it.
Yeah.
But even like that's why I get so nervous to hunt with new people because I'm like, I'm gonna poop in the woods. There's no when. It's like I guess I don't even know what the right saying is. It's no there's no how, it's when or whatever. Because I'm going to.
Yeah, yeah,
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's nerves. I don't know. I don't know what it is. You're the same way. You're
yeah.
the same way.
I've noticed, like, if I cannot have a coffee before I go to the woods.
Right.
There's no chance.
No.
I am painting tree stumps. I cannot have a
Yes.
coffee before I go in the woods. I
Yep.
can maybe pull off an energy drink if I had a light dinner. Coffee, different animal, dude. Dude, those Black Rifle 300 shot, like,
You're out.
cans,
You're toast.
laxative, laxative, dude. By the time that can pops open, fate was sealed. It's
Right.
over.
Right.
If I to this day, if I smell that stuff, I'm going to the bathroom about 35 minutes later,
Yep.
for sure.
Yep.
Oh, dude, that's brutal. I mean, but at least you got a buck. So
I did.
all's well that ends well.
I
Were
did.
they
I ended
mad?
up.
Were they mad, or were they just laughing their ass off
No, they
about it?
thought it was hilarious. They're like, dude, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like they're like, please come back because this has been the most fun and hilarious trip of our lives.
I imagine they stayed out of that stand though for at least a week
Yeah.
or two after.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. There's a cell camera almost at the base of that tree facing the beans. And that evening, we got pictures of a pretty. I mean, I would call it a Missouri giant, but maybe not a Kansas giant, but a mid 150s deer. Literally that evening.
Wow.
So it's like, does human crap really scare him that bad? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it might have hurt your pride more than the spot, really, if
Right.
anything.
Right.
Yeah. Dude, that's freaking hilarious. I remember the first time I heard that story. I was pretty much like I was just now, like 2 tears. 2
Uh huh.
tears just to like everything that could have gone wrong did dangling from your
Yeah.
safety harness, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
worst way it could have happened.
Hey, and so many times I've thought to myself, if I'll be sitting my hang on, whatever, which I hunt out of a saddle a lot now, but even a year or two ago when I was hunting primarily out of hang-ons, I'm like, I would get bored and I'd be like, if I jump out, will this thing catch me? Will it really hold me? Dude, it'll hold you. It'll hold you.
It'll hold you.
My hawk safety harness held me.
What are well, I mean, I think crapping yourself in a saddle though is gonna be a different experience
Nightmare.
than a safety harness. That's a
Haven't done it.
nightmare.
I haven't done it. Let's just fully disclose
Dude,
that
knock
I've
on
not done
wood.
that. I have not done that.
Oh
Mm.
my goodness. Oh, dude, that's freaking gold. It really is.
Oh.
How'd you I got a little bit of a sample here and there, but in your own words, how'd your deer season end up going this year?
Man, I didn't kill a deer this year.
I
I
didn't think
didn't
I saw it.
I didn't kill a deer. Um, I'm trying to think. Did you ended up killing? She killed during rifle season, and we had a mishap during bow season. So, one of our older, more to say, management bucks. It's on a farm that we can kind of be a little picky and choosy, because they're there year after year. They don't get bumped off. We're really the only ones that hunt it. Not a lot of pressure from the neighbors. And to be honest with you, it's a pretty urban spot like some of that stuff you have, and the deer just live there. They
Yeah.
they don't leave. And we have hunted it for the last 5 or 6 years, and it was, I would call it a management 8 point. I mean, he was an older deer, probably in the mid 130s, low to mid 130s. and she ended up shooting the window of the blind. I've got all that on film. He came into the decoy. I'm trying to remember exactly. I've got the film of it here, but it was, let's see, it would have been on right here, end of October. Look at this.
End of October. So right during that pre-rut. Oh my goodness, by a hair.
If you put it in slow mo, I don't know if you can watch it. Watch this in slow mo. See the Luminoc?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, by a hair.
Haircut.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, you're
come,
talking about an inch and a half.
oh my gosh. Come to find out, I was filming with the big camera. She was behind the Raven crossbow, and he had went left of the decoy we had out there, and she had moved left enough that the scope had cleared the window, but the bolt shot the edge of the window. And I mean, it left a
Oh,
slit blind. It cut like a 1 inch slit in the blind. And, you know, it was one of them deals that we thought he was hit, and after we went back and watched the film, it was just like heartbreak central. She's tearing up and
yeah.
she's like, "I can't believe I missed." And I mean, we've all been there, just stuff
Yeah.
happens, but
100%.
Still mad about.
yeah.
I've got some I'm still mad about, and the sad thing is, it's been like I'm 25, and it's been like within the last year, 2 years, and I'm still
Right,
mad about them.
right.
I've done
Yeah,
dumber stuff than hit a blind, I'll tell you that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, I've
yeah,
had my fair share of mishaps for sure, but as far as
yeah,
deer season
no,
went, she ended up getting on a really nice buck during rifle. Um, Killed, I would say, 120 to 125-inch 8 point that was kind of on one of them one-off farms that we don't really hunt very often, but went there on a whim. And she was tired of me making her pass deer, and it was one of them mornings I can vividly remember. We woke up, and she's a trooper, man. She loves to hunt. I would say probably just as much as I do. I think the time we get to spend out there together is just what is so special to us. But we had hunted 25 to 30 sets already at this point, between her
that's
trying to
awesome.
kill, and she was chasing a really big deer. We had a big deer through the summer that we had pictures of last year on a farm that we can kind of manage, and we didn't end up getting him killed, and he's still alive. We were shed hunting 2 days ago, found a shed and stared at this buck at 15 yards that stood up out of his bed. And he's a
Wow.
mid 160-inch 10 point that I think is 5.5 this year, and we didn't get him killed. But all that to say, she had been on 25, 30 plus hunts that I was making her pass 2 and 3 year old deer, and trying to just find the right one. And finally that morning during rifle season, I can remember waking up, and it's one of those deals. I got to remember she's 9 years old, and I
Yeah.
said, Stella, I said, if something comes out that tickles your fancy, I said, you kill it. I said, if you want to shoot one today, let's kill it. And
Yeah.
30 minutes into after sunrise, we had some does kind of filter out, and this, probably 3.5-year-old, maybe 3.5-year-old, 120-inch 8 point comes out nudging does, and she starts shaking, and she says, Dad, I want to kill him. I want to shoot him. And I said, let's rock and roll. Let's kill him. And she made an incredible shot. She ended up shooting him at it was like 280 yards with a 6.5 Creedmoor, and
And
surprised to see smoking.
that's not the first long shot she's made either, if I remember right. She's
No,
taken a few out of poke.
she killed that one at right at 200, 190, 200. But yeah, that middle one, that's the one you killed last year for rifle. And then, yeah, I mean, it's so crazy because I almost trust her judgment behind a gun better than mine at 250, 300. I really do. I mean, she's an incredible
Yeah.
shot. She really is.
That's freaking awesome. That's so cool. Man, you guys had, I don't remember if it was, maybe a year or 2 years ago. It wasn't that long ago. I wanna say it was maybe 2 years ago tops.
Yeah.
But you guys doubled up, if I remember right.
I
Like,
am
back-to-back bucks.
that was that was the most incredible day as a dad that I have ever experienced in my life. Like, her being born was incredible. It's a feeling like you've never felt. But when you guys share a passion for something and something comes together like that, I mean, dude, it was like one of those deals that it'll never happen again. And it might, but I can remember we were setting in a blind over a cut cornfield on a farm that we can manage pretty well. And, she had shot 2 deer with the crossbow prior to this. And I can remember evening hunt, this deer works his way out into the cut corn. And it actually happened perfect because the combine had started at like 3 o'clock. And we were like, dude, we're busted. Like, he's going to be here the rest of the night. Maybe we'll get lucky and deer will start filtering in as he kind of gets further away from the timber. He made 2 passes and shut it down and went home. And I'm like, dude,
Wow.
it's about to get crazy. And this was like an hour and a half before dark. And when that combine shut off, the deer filtered in. I mean, there was deer. Every deer that we knew on the property was coming to that cut corn. And so we ended up having a pretty nice. He was again probably a 3.5-year-old 8 point, and he came 15 yards in front of the blind. I'm running the big camera. I've got the GoPros going in the blind, and she's behind the crossbow. And he comes to 15 yards, and I was like, let's kill him. And so I filmed her shoot that deer. And I get back, panned on her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're hyped up. We're like, boo, yeah, this is crazy. And not 30 seconds later, she goes, Dad, more deer, more deer, more deer, more deer. And I'm like, okay, what is it? She goes, Dad, buck, 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 buck. And I turn around and look out the blind window, and sure enough, one of our big tens that had broke off as G2 was coming down the edge of the cut corn. And this is maybe a minute and a half tops after she shot
That's
her.
insane.
And so he ended up working his way right down the same trail that buck that she killed was on. I shot him, and I can remember looking for 2 blood trails, and they were legitimately standing almost in the same spot, and we followed the same blood trail for 20, 30 yards, and then they finally split off, and her buck was dead 60 yards off the field. My buck was dead 80 yards off the field. I mean, it was incredible. It was
That's awesome.
it was
That
the most insane hunt and core memory that, I mean, I'll remember it for the rest of my life. It'll be a staple in my hunting book for forever.
I mean, to you get your daughter on deer, regularly, and Stella's a killer, and she gets them down, and like I could only imagine how like ecstatic you are when she takes one, but to get them back to back together, that is like, I don't know how often anybody gets a chance at that. Like that's not normal. Like that was
Right.
picture freaking perfect.
Right. Now I will say, you've had some freaking stone cold killers on your podcast. You've had some whitetail killing fools on here. And we've killed our fair share of deer. And I feel like realistically probably in the last 3 years, 3-ish years, I've finally set my standard maybe a touch higher to where, like, I can walk you around the house and show you. I mean, I've got 20 some odd deer mounts in the house, and they're all between, like, I've got a 174 down in the basement, and that's my biggest whitetail is a 174-inch whitetail, and I just feel like after shooting so many 130 to 160-inch deer, it's like at some point, it's like, do I still get jittery over a 150-incher? Absolutely. Am I going to kill him if he walks in? 9 times out of 10. But I've
Yeah.
really got more picky and choosy. And really, this year, for example, I had an opportunity to kill a lot of 3 and 4 year old deer that were between that 130 and 150 mark, and I held off, and I was after 2 deer in specific that were mega giants for Southwest Missouri. I mean, there was one that was probably scratching 180 inches and one that was scratching 170 inches, and I
Yeah.
held out all year to go kill those deer and never had an opportunity to either one of them, either one.
So, and see, that's one of those things that when it gets to that point, and I've gotten better about it over the
Mhm.
years, but like I remember like when I first said like I'm looking for a certain age class, I'm looking for a certain caliber of deer. I had multiple years back to back when I started doing that, where I would think back on my season and I would think back to a buck that I was like, dude, if I could go back, I would have whacked him.
Right.
Did you have any like that this year, or were you
Dude,
just
for
like
sure.
content with the?
No, for sure. I mean, I can vaguely remember some sits with some, encounters with really good deer, but one in specific, I had hung a Millennium set deep in this hardwoods timber, and it was actually on a new permission piece that I had heard down the grapevine that there was a giant on, and had an encounter with what I thought was probably a 4.5-year-old deer that was just north of 140 inches, probably that mid 140s. And he worked
Yeah.
his way down this scrape line, made his way right in front of my stand. Wind was great, everything was great, and it took everything that I had not to kill that deer. I mean, it really did.
Oh,
And looking back, I'm
yeah.
like, I love to shoot whitetails. I love to kill big whitetails, but I don't there was something. I was just so set in stone on I'm either shooting one of those giants or I'm not gonna kill a deer.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a was that I think it was this year, you got somebody else on it, but on a deer. I think it was another
Yeah,
gentleman on a deer at some point in the I wanna say it was like that October timeframe, maybe, like
yeah,
somewhere fairly early.
yeah, and
What happened there?
dude, I watched a lot of deer die this year. I think I watched, just and it's funny because I love taking my buddies and family and friends to hunt because and nothing against them, but like I tell them, I'm like, hey, if you're hunting with me tonight and you're up to bat and a giant comes in, you're killing it. I'm not just taking you to shoot my cleanup or shoot a management deer. If we go and a giant shows up, dude, you're killing it. And one farm in specific we went to, and I took a really good friend of mine, Hunter Jurgen, and he's got busy with life and work and a family and kids and just doesn't have the time to shoot his bow much and doesn't have time to hunt much. And I remember him being like, man, I just it's been years since I've killed a good buck. I want to go. And I said, dude, let's go. I said, I'll hop in my saddle, grab a hang on, let's go hunt. And he ended up shooting a 140-inch, really nice, heavy, dark chocolate horned 8 point. And
Nice.
and then rifle season came around and he shot high 130s. Was it an 8 or a 10 that he killed? And then I took another buddy of mine over here on a farm down from my house and he shot a high 130s to low 140s 10. I mean, we were on good deer all year, but dude, I had my mind made up that I was going to shoot one of those two giants that I found, and it was either a giant deer or nothing. And so I lived vicariously through all of my friends killing deer this year.
Yeah. Man, I was gonna bring that up too because, like you mentioned, you watch a lot of deer die, and you are one of those guys. I've gotta give you the credit and tip the hat and say you are not greedy when it comes to this
Right.
stuff at all. Like you are full bore, like, "I've got this property over here, let's go, I'll help you
Yeah.
out, I'll get you on something. I
Yeah.
know that there is a turkey or a buck or whatever in this area,
Yeah.
and you're sending people." I
Yeah.
would almost say there might be an alternate universe where you were a guide as a career path because you're just not you're not greedy about it at all. You're like,
Yeah.
you're out there and you help people out a ton.
Yeah.
And I think it's freaking awesome when you do it. Does that have you always been that way, or is that something like you developed into? Like, you know
Dude,
what, I'm
I
gonna get somebody else on something.
I don't know, man. I think I've always kind of got a lot of fulfillment out of just like watching other people's success and it's hard to not get a little envious of other people that shoot big deer or make a ton of money or have find this great success and stuff. But I mean, don't get me wrong, jealousy's a thing. Like, I wanna kill big deer, I wanna make a bunch of money, I wanna have all this success, I wanna go on cool hunting trips, but at the same time, it's like, if I can share that with somebody else and watch how excited they get, and I've found a huge passion just even being behind the lens and just watching it unfold. I mean, I can remember Hunter Hogan just barking up a tree telling me, dude, you got to get this Nikon P1000. It's the baddest camera for what you're doing. Like, you will love filming in Nebraska with this thing. You'll love, like, screw the spotting scope. You'll love filming through the lens of this thing. And I remember buying that. And I think that's another huge reason why it didn't hurt my soul so much to pass some of the deer that I did, because I got to film them. I mean, I filmed them come in, I filmed them make a
Yeah.
scrape, I filmed them walk off, I filmed her shooting some deer, I filmed my buddy shooting deer, and it's like, I get almost as much satisfaction shooting them with the lens of a camera that I do running an arrow through them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for
Because
sure.
I'm like,
That's one
I
of those
snap a
things.
video or a picture and I'm like, gotcha, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's one of those things, and it worked out pretty perfectly the timing wise. Like I went out and I bought my first like real like professional grade camera this year in
Mhm.
November. And I think it was like a week or two after I bought it. I went out and I'd already filmed some deer with it like that first week I got it. But then um the week after I came back from this 9-day hunt that I did, I was hunting some like suburban permission pieces
Yep.
and I got a buck. Like I decided to hunt on the ground. I buried myself in honeysuckle bushes. I was after a target buck.
Mhm.
Different buck comes in. This buck came in to like no kidding, like 3 yards. Like if I would have moved fast enough, I could have slapped him.
Holy
And I
crap.
remember getting that camera lens up, and he wasn't a giant, but just getting that camera lens up on that buck and filming him, and it's like he's on the other side of these honeysuckle branches, and at first the focus is on the branches,
Mhm.
and he sticks his head around and he's staring straight into my freaking soul. And he goes perfectly into focus at like 9 feet away. And I was like, I don't care if I see my target buck. Like, I want to go home and pull this footage up because it was so freaking cool
I
having a
bet that
buck get
looks
that
sick.
close. Looks sick. The footage was awesome. And I was sitting there like, this is badass. Like,
Right,
regardless of what happens today,
right.
this one clip just
Uh-huh.
made it. I mean, it was
Yeah.
so that was like a big, big thing for me, like along that same line as we got the camera going
Oh,
and you
yeah.
can get some really cool footage or some really good pictures of these deer coming in like that. Like
Yeah.
I had that buck dead to rights. If he was a shooter
Right.
to me, I could have had him, but instead I just got this, pretty freaking awesome footage of him. So
Yeah.
I get what you're saying there for sure. Um, and I do want to touch on this too, kind of circle back to the whole family thing a little bit too, because I've really enjoyed these conversations, some of the people I've had on so far.
Yeah.
Uh, man, you've got this freaking awesome deal where you've got Stella just laying waste to these bucks and turkeys and everything else. When did you get her started into hunting? Did you always know you were gonna get her started? And how did you introduce that? Because you created a killer, like a
I
real
know,
killer.
man.
Like she's gonna be a problem in Missouri, man. Like there's gonna be some bucks going down for the
Yeah.
foreseeable future.
Man, she really didn't have a choice. I almost, like, forced this. I was like, "You're gonna love to hunt. I don't care if you like it or not." No. It was more of, I feel like, I mean, she was 6 years old, and I can even pull up pictures when she was 3 and 4 and 5 years old. I have a video of us in a blind when she was a baby, and she's in a car seat, and I'm sitting there rocking her in the blind, like, trying to keep her from crying while I've got deer in the field, and so it's always been something that we've done together, um, and to be honest with you, she's so tenderhearted and loves she's a people pleaser, and I think she, from a very young age, saw how much it meant to me to spend time in the woods and be a steward of the woods, and just, hanging cameras and planting food plots and taking side by side rides. And I mean, I can remember the first pair of little binoculars I bought her, and we'd get on the side by side and go watch deer, and it was just something we've always done together. Dude, it's just, I mean, it's like, it's so fun, and it's something that we thoroughly enjoy doing together. And then when she finally got to the age to be able to go and do it, it's a whole nother animal at that point. I mean, I didn't hold her off the first year. I said, kill whatever, we're gonna get some deer under
Yeah,
your belt. And I've still got the film that I haven't put out of her shooting her very first little bitty 7 point. We've got it mounted down in the basement, this little bitty 7 point that came into the food plot. She shot it at like 7 yards, and and I mean, tears rolling down her face just from the adrenaline that
Oh, yeah.
it was legit adrenaline dump, and watching her watching how much that meant to her, where I didn't have to, like, instill that in her, where I wasn't like, "Do you realize how big of a deal that was?" I didn't have to say that. She was
Yeah,
just like, "This is so cool." It was such a big moment of fulfillment because I don't go hang cameras, plant food plots, and do that stuff. She does it with me.
that's
And we're
awesome.
on the tractor. We're nose deep in briars and brush, hanging cameras. We're driving dirt roads. We're glassing from the road. We're glassing from our farm. We're glassing. I mean, we are finding deer, and she's doing it with me. I mean, I don't. It's not like, all right, Dad, I'll see you later. I'll go find your deer and let's go
Yeah.
kill it. It's no, you're gonna bust your ass with me, and we're gonna find a deer that you want to kill, and then we're gonna find out how to kill that deer.
Ah, dude, that's so awesome. And the cool thing is too, like now that she's kind of progressed through that, do you find her kicking you now when season's getting close? Like, hey, we're going. Like even before you say it,
Oh, for
is she at
sure.
that point?
For sure. Dude, for
Yeah.
example,
Dude.
I mean, we've got what is today? The 11th. We've got 2 more days to put in for Kansas turkey season, and I totally put in by myself. And I mean, just the other day, she walked up here and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm putting in for my Kansas turkey tag." She's like, "Well, you got me one, right?" And I was like, I'll do it now. I'm on it. I'll get it."
Now
You
I
know,
do.
she's like she's all in, man, and, like, I've got some really, really good family friends out in North Carolina, South Carolina that I go turkey hunt with every year. Alex Sikowski and some of those folks out there, and Johnston and Whitney McCurry that are in South Carolina. They own Four Sons Charters. They're a class act down there, man. We've grown to really become pretty close family friends. And I go turkey hunt out there every year, and I have not taken her on that one yet, but I mean it's close to time. She's all for it, man. She's like, "Dad, if you're going hunting, I'm going with you." She's like, "I am in."
Ah, dude, too cool. Did you get started the same way, or were you out there that young?
Dude, to be honest with you, deer hunting with a rifle, yes. So I started, 7, 8 years old. My dad taking me, shooting deer with a rifle. Never killing big deer. I mean, it was like if it's brown, it's down. And we eat all our deer. We process our own deer. We do all that. And so, yeah, I did get started deer hunting at a pretty early age, but the turkey hunting didn't come until I was 13, 14 years old, and my mom got remarried to who's now my stepdad, Stacy McNeese, Stace. I call him Stace, Pops, whatever. And this dude's a turkey killing fool. I mean, he is like, which you've met him. He's 6'6", like
Yeah.
330. And I'm like, dude, how do you even hide in the woods? Like, how do you how do y- there's something that you're doing that I'm not, because how do you hide that massive body in the woods? But he introduced me to turkey hunting, and I fell in love, and yeah, I mean, it is arguably one of my favorite things to do. I love to turkey hunt. I love chasing giant whitetails. I've found a love for chasing muleys out west, but man, it's hard to beat, getting you in camp, getting Hunter in camp, getting my daughter Stella there, getting family and friends and neighbors and just people you haven't seen all year, and just shooting the breeze, and dude, I love it. I love getting everybody in turkey.
Yeah. Dude, it was a blast too, 'cause last year was my first time coming out for the turkey camp, and,
Yeah.
man, when we got together, I think that was, like, maybe the 2nd time or 3rd time maybe that we had seen each other and met in
Right.
person, like,
Yeah.
the first time we met in person, we met up at a restaurant out by Hunter.
Mhm.
And, we had already been talking, like, in a group chat. Hunter put us all in a group chat, and Hunter was like, "Dude," he was telling me before you came through, he's like, "You gotta meet Alex." He's like, You think, like, your energy is on this level," he goes, "and it's about 10x mine," and he goes, "and Alex is gonna 10x you." And dude, we were hooting and hollering at each
I
other
know.
before we even made it to the restaurant, and,
Dude, I know.
then I come out to turkey camp, and that's like I said, maybe the 2nd or 3rd time we'd seen each other in person. Dude, right
Yeah.
away, went over to your folks' place. The nicest people immediately feed all of us, and we got together at the shop house shortly after that. I mean, we're shooting off dragon's breath rounds and just
Yep.
making a really good time out of it. So
Oh yeah.
it's one of those things now where it's like I this time of year is coming around. I'm like, man, we doing turkey camp or what? What's gonna go
Yeah.
on? And so I've been looking forward to it for sure. It's one of those things. I love that social side. I love getting serious about deer hunting and
Yeah.
breaking down a buck and doing all this stuff. But there's something about just cutting loose and just making a just ball out of it during turkey
For
camp. And that's
sure.
kind of when we all cut loose a little bit and just
For
have fun with
sure.
it.
Which don't discredit yourself any, because I know you can recall, I know Hogan can recall, I know there's a lot of guys that can recall. You know, we love to chase giant whitetail, and we've been lucky to be able to hunt, and all this to say, I don't think that I'm the best whitetail hunter in the world. I've been blessed with some crazy good property to be able to harvest big whitetails, but I know at least a dozen times a year, I get you, Hogan, and Dylan in a group chat, and I'm like, hey, I found this buck, or I got this property. E-scout it. What do you guys think? Where should I go? Where do I hang a set? What's your input on this before I even step foot on it? I'm like, what do you guys think? So, I mean, I've got so lucky just having a group of guys around me that make me look really good, because a lot of people are like, man, you've killed so many big deer. And I'm like, man, number one, I just get lucky having great property to hunt. But number two, I've got a great group of guys around me that I can kind of just ask questions and be like, bounce ideas off of. What's your thoughts? What's this buck doing? Where's the food? Where do you think he's bedding? How's the contour lines
Yeah.
lately? Yeah, it's I've got lucky with that.
And we've got a great group of guys for that too, because like, man, just the amount of experience when you talk about like those group chats we've got and stuff like that, and the amount of like intel, dude. Like I said, like even this buck that I took in September,
Yeah,
that's my biggest public land buck to date, and I consider him a team buck because, like, yeah, I did all the
right,
scouting, I found his bedroom, did all that stuff, but
right.
I'm like double checking myself. I'm shooting texts off in the group chat like, "Hey,
Yeah,
this is what I'm thinking about doing. What do you guys think?" or whatever, and just running that through. And it's like, man, we've got a really good, group of guys to bounce ideas off of. There's no doubt about that.
for sure, man. And that's like worth its weight in gold too, because you talk about guys like Dylan Harriman, that is a legit stone cold, just big deer killer. I mean, whitetail knowledge. I mean, you think of guys like, I mean, dude, to be honest, I drove to Kansas today and got to go look at 1,604 acres of the most pristine
Golly.
whitetail woods and habitat that I've ever seen in my life. I mean, they killed a 200 incher off of it last year, and it's like clockwork that they shoot mega giants on this farm.
Gosh.
And just being able to learn all this stuff, but all of that to say, I've got guys like you and Dylan and Hunter, and people like that. I mean, really, if I wanted to call Jeff Rainey, who kills giants, I can call these
Yeah.
guys, anytime, and bounce ideas off. And I mean, do I wish that I had farms like Lee and Tiffany Lakowski? Do I wish I had a Josh Bomar farm? Hell yes, I do. Hell yes, I do. But sometimes we got to get creative and figure out how to get these deer killed. And somehow, every year between our group of folks, we find good deer and manage to have an opportunity to kill big whitetails.
Absolutely, dude, and freaking, I love that you brought up Dylan during that conversation too, because Dylan's a freaking cheat code, man. It's
Oh my
like,
gosh!
I find sometimes like Dylan maybe sometimes can't even necessarily explain how he's doing it, but like if you ever hunt with him, you can watch him, and it's almost like it's like an instinct thing to him. It's not
Mhm.
like he's sitting there like there are certain things he just can't explain or teach to you. He's
Right,
just like it's an instinct autopilot. He's got it in his DNA.
dude, it really
And
is.
if there is a mature buck, he's gonna get on top of it.
Yes,
It's just a matter of what day.
right.
I mean, he's got this like intuition in the moment, quick judgment call,
Yeah.
and he kills hammers because of
I
it
I
all the
mean,
time. He's
when you've
something
got
else.
when you've got guys like Hunter Hogan that are killing public land giants year after year after year, and he says this dude is the real deal.
Yeah, yeah.
That dude's the real deal. That is the real deal. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shoots a what was his public land buck 2 years ago? 184 inches.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was like 183, 184, something like that. Public land, found the buck and killed him like within 24 hours.
After he blew his bow up.
After, yeah,
One of them
yeah.
the next evening after he found him, went to draw on him, blew his bow up, left, got his bow fixed, came back the next day, rattled. It was either rattled or grunted the deer in and killed the deer at
I
20.
think yeah, 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 he either rattled or grunted him in. Whole thing on film.
I mean, a
Kills
booner.
him like inside of
You're
20
talking a
or something
booner.
like that.
You're
Yeah,
talking a deer that
you're talking net booner.
right, right. A deer that
Yeah,
most guys will never even have the chance to see in the wild, let alone kill in the wild.
yeah. Unfreaking believable. The guy is insane. I've been talking to Dylan. We're gonna get him on. We're gonna
Yeah,
get him on. And the thing is that he does it everywhere. It's not like this isn't a home state thing for him. You can drop him anywhere and he does it.
1000%. This is a dude that's finding 170s in Oklahoma.
Yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah.
What?
He gave one a haircut this year.
I thought Oklahoma just had pigs. I didn't know they had 170-inch deer. What?
I didn't know Oklahoma had whitetail.
Dude,
Like
I
they got
know.
what?
I know.
Like I thought they had like goats or something. I don't know what they
Right.
hunt over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know, man.
dude.
There's
It's it yeah, the guy's unreal. And then like you said, you got Hunter and Jeff and like, the guys we're friends with that like, man, it is so lucky and fortunate to have
yeah,
that kind of like those kinds of guys that you're like,
dude,
yep, they're in my
absolutely.
back pocket. I'm gonna give them a ring and solve a problem real quick. It's
Absolutely.
like it's like you have to take a test in school, but you have like an old teacher on speed dial, and you can just FaceTime. They're like, "Yeah, A,
Yeah.
B, C." You just go through. It's unbelievable, man. We're very fortunate in that respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
I agree.
so yeah, those guys are unreal, and just the opportunities we've been afforded has been, I'm extremely grateful for all of them, and to call all you guys friends, and man, I'm looking forward to turkey camp again this year.
Yes.
Hopefully we can coax Hunter and Cheyenne out to it. They've got a new little one, so I don't know how travel is going to be for them right now, but
Right.
we'll see how that goes. But for sure, just get the guys back together
Yeah.
and go out to turkey camp this year. We're excited for it, and man, it's just fun when you have, like I said, that whole group of guys like that, and then we all get together in one place. It's a freaking blast.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you can't trade that. That's an awesome experience. So,
For sure.
Alex, I gotta say, dude, thank you so much for coming on. This has been an absolute blast. Stella, thank you for coming in and being a special guest for the day. We always love having you here, and let's do this again sometime, buddy.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely,
And
dude. Thanks, Dean. I appreciate you, man.
yeah, man, before we hop off, where can people find you at if they want to check you out, or maybe they've got some real estate that you might be interested in?
Dude, I would love to do a deal with anybody. If they're looking for a home or recreational land or anything, I'd be happy to help. But man, if there's somebody on here that's like, man, I'd love to kill a longbeard and maybe don't have anywhere to go, dude, get a hold of me. Indeed, come down here to turkey camp. We'll smoke a freaking longbeard. But
Oh
man,
yeah, well,
you can look me up on Facebook, Alex O'Brien. You can find me on Instagram. I think it's O'Brien_Alex_94. I mean, dude, my cell number is 417-827-2903. Call me. I mean, I'm good. You call me, ask me questions. If you need me to get you permission somewhere, drop me a pin on Onyx. I can have you the information. I'll have you permission pretty quick.
dude, that's freaking awesome. Dude, yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah. Shoot me a DM or Alex a DM, and we'll make a non-typical project turkey camp. We'll do something crazy.
But if it's
That'd be a
if it's
blast,
over
man.
160, if it's over 160, full disclosure, I'm going to tell you they said no, and I'm going to go hunt it.
Yeah, yeah. If you got a buck and he's too big, you're calling the wrong number. Oh, dude, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. We need to do
Uh,
live turkey season live. We need to just go
oh, that would
stream
be
it.
awesome.
8-hour stream all day, 5 longbeards down.
Dude, done deal. Done deal. Put on a clinic.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks, buddy. And I'll see you, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Cheers, Dean. See you in a bit.
Thank you guys for listening to today's episode of The Non-Typical Project. If you want to check out our special guests, their social media handles are located in the episode description. If you want to keep up to date with The Non-Typical Project, you can search The Non-Typical Project on Instagram. You can also head over to the main page of the podcast to see all currently available episodes with a new episode every Friday. To keep up to date with me, you can find me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Dean_Hunts. And everything will once again be down below in the episode description. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.